Welcome back to Life Insurance Today. I'm your host, Edward Pritchett. I have an exciting thing for life insurance agents today. Don't miss this, all right? Make sure you hit that like button, share this with other insurance agents who might be struggling, because I figured it out. I know why your sales are not where you want them to be. You ready? You sure? I'll give you a second to sit down. You're not being a professional sales agent. I know, it's like, what do you mean professional sales agent? I'm being professional. I'm getting my leads, I'm making my dials, I'm doing calls, I'm doing training on a fairly regular basis. I'm doing all the things that my mentors are telling me to do, but I'm not getting results. I'm telling you, if you're not getting the results in the market like we have today, guys, we're in $1 trillion a year insurance market. That's the amount of premium that's flowing from clients to carriers every single year right now. Our industry keeps seeing year after year of banner growth, 8%, 10%. If your numbers aren't going up like that, then you're not being a professional, because there are professionals that are out there that are getting the results that you're saying that you want to get. Now, over the next couple of Life Insurance Today posts that we're gonna be doing here, I'm gonna take you through a couple of things after I go over the basics with you about how you can up-level your sales game. I wanna give a shout out to Mr. Jeremy Miner on this one. Thank you. You've helped me up-level my game. I've seen my premium increase, the number of sales that I'm making increase 3-4-fold over just the past 3 to 6 months. Why? Because I am working on becoming more of a professional sales agent in today's environment, and that's what you need to be looking at doing. All right? So you're gonna see some things pop up here, and I want you to really pay attention. Write these things down. They're gonna help you really develop a game plan for becoming a professional sales agent. I have them right here in front of me, and I'm gonna give you a quick overview of what we're looking at, okay? Number one, to become a professional, you have to become an expert. Now, if you're brand new and you're just getting started, you're probably saying, okay, Edward, look, I just started in insurance. I'm still trying to figure out the difference between term and whole life. How do I become an expert? That's the question you want to be asking. How? How do I become an expert? Because no, you don't start off as an expert, but you have to plan to become one. All right, so number one, you have to have that training time in your calendar. My suggestion to you is at least 1 hour of self-development, all right? Because if you don't get yourself better, your business is not gonna get better, all right? That self-development could be any kind of self-development that you're looking for. Maybe you're a fan of Tony Robbins, maybe it's John Maxwell, whomever it might be. Ask a mentor that you respect, someone who you want your life to be like, and say, hey, what are you reading? Who are you using to help you on your personal development journey, all right? Number two, 1 hour of sales training. Sales is not just intuitive, okay? We think it is, but we think it is because we've been sold to all our lives, but we haven't been sold to in the right way, right? If you've said no to a lot of salespeople, then you probably don't know how to sell because you're watching the people do it wrong. So find a good sales development course, sales training. I would encourage you, watch the next video that we have coming up, all right? We're gonna break down the 3 eras of sales training that have happened in our country since the early 1900s, okay? That will help you understand which era that you're still trying to sell in. And again, another shout out, take a look, 7th level, Jeremy Miner, he has some amazing techniques, and he is in line with the current era of sales training, sales development, however you want to put it. What he is talking about and what he is doing is what allows people to sell with massive results right now. But you have to have that sales training. And this is every day, guys. When I'm saying personal development, when I'm saying an hour of sales training, this is every day. Number 3, we live in a technological age. You need to spend a bit of time, okay? And that bit of time, I'm recommending an hour, just to keep it simple for you, on what is the technology that your insurance companies are using? What is the technology that you're using in order to get in touch with clients? Are you presenting well via Zoom? Are you presenting well via WhatsApp? Are you presenting well via, maybe it's Facebook Messenger? Are you learning the things that you need to do to market yourself on Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, wherever people are, which is on social media, are you learning the technology of the day to help you be a professional? Put yourself out there so that you're no longer an undercover agent. So that's 3 hours. And many of you are saying, okay, 3 hours? Like, when am I gonna work? Guys, you have time. If you do that for 3 hours, and you spend 6 hours of actually engaging and doing the work of being an insurance agent, you're gonna see success like you haven't ever seen before. So what does it look like once you have done an hour of self-development? And maybe that you do that before your work day starts. And then I get into my sales training just to keep my mind fresh, keep myself sharp right at the start of my day. And then I'm gonna get into the technology training. Maybe that's after a break later on. But I'm still gonna take that time. I'm gonna spend that 6 hours of, okay, let's execute on what I have to do in order to make sales. What are my resources looking like? Do I have the leads that I need in order to be able to reach out to clients right now? Am I making dials on a regular basis? What's your current dial count, right? If you don't have a dial count that you're shooting for at the end of every week, you don't have a game plan for building your business. We call it dial count now. It used to be how many prospecting appointments are you gonna go out on? I started off in this industry, it was I had to go out and see 40 businesses a day. Sounds like a ludicrous number, right? It was a ludicrous number, 40 businesses a day. How many days do you think I actually achieved that? Very few, but that was the goal. That's what we were setting, and that was driving around 40 businesses. I got to get in front of 40 gatekeepers so that I could hopefully set appointments later on to get in front of 40 decision makers, right? Now we have the luxury of being able to find a lead vendor, pick up the phone, call, hey, can you send over 200 leads of this particular type, 50 leads of this particular type? And then I have to actually engage and pick up the phone and make those dials. And hopefully I'm using the things that I learned during that hour of sales training that I just got finished doing, during my personal development time, during my technology training, right? I want to do that stuff after I've actually improved on my skill set. I don't want to be the same tomorrow as I was yesterday. And if I'm not doing training along the way, it's not going to allow that to happen. So that weekly activity that you're doing, what does that count? Do I have the resources in order to make that account? And then as I'm going through this process, I want to get this, the terminology that we use within my organization is, how many in play do you have? How many appointments in play? At any given time, if I'm sitting around and I have 0 appointments on my calendar, the only thing I need to be doing is putting appointments on my calendar, right? Whenever I run an appointment and that one's off my calendar, whatever the outcome was, am I getting back on the phones to replace that appointment or add more to it? I would recommend that you start with 5 in play. Can you start with 5 appointments in play at all times? Making sure that on whatever day of the week it is, whatever time you're going through, do you have 5 appointments that you're preparing or getting ready to run in the next day or two? And then as soon as you clean appointments off your plate because you went and helped that client get what they were looking for, I'm getting right back on the phone, I'm getting back to prospecting, I'm making sure I'm putting additional appointments on the calendar so I keep my 5 in play. Now, as you get better, I want you to increase that number. If you want to get bigger results, if you want to have the $100, $200, $300, $500,000 a year income in this industry, you may not be able to stay at, well, you won't be able to stay at 5 in play. You may need to get that up to 10 in play, or 12, or 15 in play, where you always know, guess what, I have appointments on the books. This is what a professional does. This is how someone who doesn't have to worry about the ups and downs of their income does in this particular industry. I want you to take these tools, these tips, and make your game plan. Sit down and write it out. Draw out what you're doing on a daily basis, right? Block those things off. Even if you don't know the specific thing that you're gonna be doing, block those times off in your Google Calendar, right? If you're using an iPhone and you're using iCalendar, sure, go ahead and do it there too. But if you're using a real calendar like Google Calendar, block that time off so that you know, even if you haven't put something there yet, hey, if I'm trying to make plans with somebody to go do something, plans with the family, plans with the kids, these are the times that I'm gonna be doing my sales training. These are the times I'm doing my personal development. These are the times I'm doing my technology and product training. And then here's my time that I'm doing 5 to 6 hours every single day of engaging in client acquisition and client sales. Those are the things that we need to be doing. Those are the things that a professional salesperson does. I get it. You may be 1099, you may be W-2, but you have a lot of flexibility. You have a lot of freedom in this industry. And I want you to say, you know what? I'm gonna be the best boss for myself. I'm gonna help myself level up and get better, because that's what a good boss does. A good boss makes an employee better, points out and shows them things that they can do to up-level their skills, has conversations with them to see how they can lift up not only themselves, but the entire team. Are you doing that with yourself for your business? If you are, you're setting this kind of a calendar for yourself so that you can be an actual professional, someone that can depend on the results that they get every single day, every single week, every single month, every single quarter, so you can have the year that you want to have. I hope this has been helpful. If it has, share it with someone else. This isn't the end-all be-all. There's a lot more that we can flesh out, but I know your attention is limited. There's a lot of other things that you want to swipe to see. All right, so I'm gonna let you go and do that. But before you go, if this helped, hit that like button. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button so that you can get that next episode that will be coming soon, and share this with someone who needs to up-level their game, who needs to become a professional salesperson, because that's gonna help them do better, it's gonna help you do better, and God, especially within our industry, it's gonna help our industry get better and better. Talk to you soon.